little deer. Pepperoni and garlic salting the other side of the roast. This is a perfect sized roast for you and Steven. See how it looks? It's kind of got a brown. See how it's browner? This is really what you want. So I'm going to let it cook on the other side for a few minutes.
What do you do with all the crumblies and things that are going on in the bottom of the pan?
You just leave it the way right there. For you and Steven, I'm peeling a carrot. I'm sure you have a potato peeler and you just peel it. I'm going to put about 1.5 cups of water in the bottom of the roasting pan with the roast because it helps to cook the roast and steam it to make it tender, and you're also going to need it in there for the gravy. Let's put it in for a little while first. We're going to go ahead and put it in the oven for a little bit at 350. You kids need to do probably, I would say 3 potatoes. That gives you, no, that's too many. 2 potatoes because you're going to cut them in half. So 2 will give you 4 potatoes for you to eat. So between 4, it just depends on how many potatoes you're going to want. If you're going to have leftovers, which you will, I do 3 potatoes, and then you'll have 6 potato pieces. So that's what I do, and I do 2 carrots instead of 3. I do 2, because you're going to eat the carrots.
Important thing after you're done peeling your vegetables, do not put them down the garbage disposal. They are so fibrous they will ruin it and choke it up. In the bag. Peelings go in a bag. And then you cut the potatoes in half, just like this, along the side, not long ways. That's what you're doing.
Well, I'm back. I'm going to put in the potatoes now. As you see, Daddy cut them in half. And I'm just going to put them in.
And all that juice down in there?
That started from that 1.5 cups of water that I put in. And then I'm going to turn into gravy in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Still got another hour at least to cook, so the potatoes will be ready, and the roast will be nice and tender. And I know it looks like a lot of work, Mackenzie, but it's not. As you see, it's pretty easy. And you can find the recipe for it in your Better Homes and Garden cookbook that I gave you, this one. And it's under pot roast. And when you go to the store, you buy a pot roast, or a chuck roast is what it's called. And it doesn't have to be prime cut or any of that stuff, just a pot roast. But this is the book you'll find it in, the one with the checkers on it that I gave you.
We'll be back in an hour. It's been almost an hour.
very tender.
Okay. Take the potato. Taking it out of the pan.
Can you get me a slotted spoon, honey? Right there's one. I need the whisk, so don't put it back. Okay, I'm going to take the potatoes. I'm putting it on a platter.
So it looks all pretty.
Carrots, which are good for you. It's called deglazing a pan. You take a whisk and you kind of just scrape the bottom of the and turn it on to, I don't know, about 4.
To get the crispies off.
Right, to get the stuff off the bottom of the pan. It's called deglazing a pan.
Now what are you doing?
I'm getting down stuff that I need. Okay, I buy stuff called Wondra.
Okay.
What it does is thicken gravy. It's very fine flour. It's milled very fine. And then I buy stuff called Kitchen Bouquet. It's to brown and season the gravy. And you just, I can't measure it, Mackenzie. You just pour in, I don't know, that much.
Half a teaspoon on that.
Oh no, it's probably a teaspoon or a little more. Then I'm going to add the water.
2 cups.
So it'll make some gravy for you guys. And then I'm going to just... So yeah, you got to have the heat on so that when it comes to a boil, you can start adding your... And of course you need to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Always add salt and pepper to anything you're cooking, except a cake or something. Salt and pepper brings out the flavor in your food. Even if people don't like salt, add it anyway in the food. When you're cooking, oh, I need more salt, that's for sure.
Okay, you just added some more Kitchen Bouquet because of the taste.
Right, you just have to add it until it tastes like you want it to taste, because it seasons the gravy. This has got a little fat on it, so you need to get me a bowl.
What do you mean a bowl? That's 2 cups of water.
I'm not going to add it all.
Just a cup?
I just added a little bit. I don't know. I need to get some of this fat off. See how there's from the roast?
Yeah.
I need to skim some fat off.
Well, that's what you're doing. What are you doing down there? What do you want? Once the grease is in the thing.
Well, I'm not ready yet. I'm just getting ready. I'm getting ready to do the Wondra because it's starting to boil. Or it was starting to boil. And Miss Nosiness has to see what we're doing. See how it's starting to boil?
Yeah.
So you take a whisk, like I've got, and let it start boiling really good. And once you start doing this, you can't stop, and you can't stop whisking or it'll leave little lumps in it. And it'll just start coming out, and you just gotta whisk. As it's coming out, you gotta whisk. Now I'm stopping because I gotta see if I've got enough in it, because it's a thickening agent. So it's gonna thicken up your gravy. So let's see if I've got enough in there. So you gotta kind of let it cook a little bit. And I would say I do not have enough in there. So let's let it come back to a boil. Come on. But you got to keep kind of whisking it because it'll burn. You got to keep it kind of moving because it's flour, and flour will definitely burn. But see, it's getting thicker.
That's your jar.
Well, the gravy is about done. I cooked green beans with this. So we're going to have the roast and potatoes and carrots and green beans and gravy. We were going to have biscuits, but I forgot them. So that's dinner.
How could you forget the biscuits?
That was your job. I did the big stuff.
Now you tell me afterwards.
I know. So that's it, Miss Mackenzie. It's not hard. Just follow what I told you and then look up the recipe. It'll tell you how much weight and all that kind of stuff. And I love you.
And so do I, kiddo. Okay. Bye, sweetie.